Good morning, folks. It is well, 6:48 a.m. on the 12th day, 5th month, 2025. I'll look at some of these totals coming up because I'm not liking what I'm seeing as we're approaching the time period for next weekend and on through into next week. It's stuff you're going to want to know about. On no way, shape, or form do I see conditions correct to make any kind of cyclone of tropical cyclone strength anywhere near your coastal waters around here right now. It's just all the conditions are impossible for that to occur. We'll have a couple lows form whenever these two highs here and here move. So that's going to be something you're going to want to keep an eye on. But over the next few days, even the wets around Coffs Harbor is going to begin, and the totals are going to get rather high when I'm looking at the total event of it all. Like even through the weekend here, between Crafts and Nabucco's had 3-4 centimeters, at easily 5 in some pockets. But if I look at the back half, again, you've got a big event that begins on that Saturday, right? I go over here. I just did some sessions, and I've looked at all the conditions to pick out which one of these I think is right. And you better listen to what I say about your totals and not what you're seeing on this screen. Yeah, because I'm thinking it's going to go quarter meter closer towards the coast, and it might be a little less back here than they're saying. It depends on how the EMF goes, and I can't tell you what the EMF's going to do until I see it. Right? Let's be honest about this. Geoengineering controls the weather on command. Right? If I point a harmonizer at the sky and I try to change the outlook of a storm, how it's supposed to go, then they actually deploy more chem, more EMF to counter what I do. So sometimes I think I did more harm than good for the environment. So we have to also think of that while you're playing God. Right, well and gone. See the totals coming up here on that back half for the next weekend. It's nothing you're going to want to experience. And that was through like the evening hours on Saturday the 17th through into the week. See that? So I'm going to watch this very closely. I have to get this broadcast out quick because there's doing some construction at the park as they're wiring up a concert festival for a weekend. So that's what the power went out yesterday. Frustrating. So I'm going to do this morning fast and early. Okay, so these are some of your totals. New Zealand, not as pleasant to see as well when I'm looking out. As we get here past, again, getting towards your Saturday, it's right about here. It's when you're going to get one that comes over, right? So we'll be looking out for you as well. And again, Cook Strait's going to get shut with EMF. It's going to cause a backup of a lot of the moisture into these areas. So let's be watching out over here for you guys. And it's coming on the quicks, 7 to 10 centimeters, and then the wet continues, of course, for the soggy thumb. When you look at it from the mountainous view, it almost looks like a raisin fingered thumbprint. Yeah, because it gets too much water, maybe. I don't know. You see, this is on a fast, so that's flash floods coming through the weekend. Saturday and Sunday, a very high risk for that. Hey, so watch yourself up there if you're planning any travels. Going to go through the forecast part and let you see it, and then I want to show some chem. Well, I didn't want to show it, but it's there, so I will. Yes, this is how I look at things. But really, with the way the tropics are set up right now, it's just a long flow across northern Queensland. But with the strength of these high pressure systems around the Antarctica and the density of the cold air itself, it's very hard, except for between the gaps of oscillation between these 1028, let's say, and this 1036 here. So I can get that a little higher for you. It acts like a rudimentary pump. Okay, so this is where you'll get some cold air brought up when you see this kind of action. And as this comes across here, hits a wall of EMF, there's nowhere for it to go. So some of the water gets shaved off inland. Some of it does not. And the rotation of this one here is this direction, the high around here. I could put particle animation on and show you that, but I just keep that in my head. It's just more complicated to load that way. And like I said before, that the system that forms over here is going to dive south because there's nowhere for it to go towards the east. Yeah, the high pressure running into the beam line that I kind of outlined yesterday. Clearly, it says there's a heated outflow line. So here we go. Let's get in towards the 16th and have you guys look at the old coast road where they just chem it like they don't care no more, kind of a thing. Maybe our oppressors will get lucky and a lightning bolt will take out a koala while they chair. What is wrong with you guys? You're killing the Brumbies, wild horses. You're killing fucking koalas like they don't matter. I think the people that suggest such things should kill themselves because they don't matter to matter itself. All matter matters. How dare us decide such a thing? Scandalous there. What are you trying to get rid of the Kiwi over to the Kiwis in New Zealand too? Where is our attitude of compassion? Everybody, it's like to try to say, oh, look at the passion of Christ. And they're all walking around having the compassion of the devil himself. Beelzebub has a koala in its sights for me. Brumbies in the sights for me. Hashtag save it all, man. Save it all. And there's your law, New Zealand. But the wind-wise on this one here, it's going to hit you guys. It's nothing to be taken lightly on the South Island. Watch. See up there over the Westlands? Now watch it hit the beak of the Kiwi itself, because that's what I call this, because it looks like a Kiwi. And a beak right there. But you see that piece missing from it? Yeah, that's where the government took a bite out of it with some 1080. Yeah, you look into that shit. The more rain you have, the faster it dissolves, the more you get to put down. Have put some baits on the ground for some ants. Do-do-do-do, do-do-do-do, do-do-do-do. Pink Panther, that shit, man. What happened to having anteaters? Could you just have some anteaters? Maybe they taste good. Who knows? All I know is 74-kilometer-an-hour winds is nothing to shake a stick at coming through the overnight hours of Sunday. You know, the huff and puff and blow the house down. The gust, too, is absolutely terrible. You see, we're over 106 kilometers an hour to be expected. I'd be expecting some of the gusts to be actually over 140. Yeah, so I think this is a bit of a lie. Yeah, you see that all around the island. So, yeah, watch your walkers that day. All in through Monday. Yeah, ain't gonna be a good school run, that's for sure. Batten down the hatches, or maybe possibly consider staying at home, educating yourselves. 1 + 1 = 2 at home still, right? And Mars is to Mars, and Venus is Venus, and a man is someone that has a penis still at home. And vagina determines a woman still at home. And at school, well, I don't know what the hell they're teaching nowadays. But that's what I learned in school. And I learned that in school. We're going to start reminding what we learned in school. 88-kilometer-an-hour gusts. That only means one thing. Surf's going to be fucking up. But, yeah, you get blown off the bar that day. Not too cool, but that's through to Monday. Right? You see, this is a big concern for me, is these winds. And that was your gusts. And your steadies. Right, as this comes ashore, Yamba, again the wind's blowing up this wazoo over here, up the old Clarence River, again and again and again. The Goodwood Island is getting the wood of the system. How about the political cocaine party, huh? You're covering that up really good. We're paying for that. When you're sending your money abroad for a war that I've never seen existed, I could go on National Worldview one day and show you. You show me a puff of smoke over to Ukraine when they said there was war and 5 cities were burning. Not one puff of smoke on the clouds. We're being lied to, man. Even Q lied to you about that, saying some tunnels are being destroyed. Boy, do you people love to grasp that hopium for free by the corner guy. And all it's costing you is your integrity. Go ahead, sign up. Okay, so big problems coming for you over in the Carfs area again. But if you love pictures of Dorrigo waterfalls, get your ass down there, because it's definitely going to be flowing. There's been so many waterfall in actions there. I'm surprised a big piece ain't chipped out the front of one of them and made a second falls. You ever watching something? He's watching something. This is not nice to have to report. The wet's coming. And it's all because of the bam bombs. Did you see yesterday? Did you see this shit yesterday? Look at this over here in the Bastard Strait. Because they treated it like it's the bastard child. They treated it like it was Harry. Yes, his mother was such a saint. Stable boys. Hey, blur out much? I have a feeling I have this image screenshotted before they started blurring this out. See these blurring lines? This is censorship. They don't think that zooming back here is going to illustrate the fact that these are chemtrails. Thousands of chemtrails in the naked light I saw. Look at this off the coast of Perth. Do we need to say more? I've seen less stripes on the end of the runway at Heathrow. Look at the EMF. Bzzz, the fryer is on. May the 11th be with us all. That was the 11th. This is the only last family picture I have of us all. This is our family picture. This is us with the whales. This is up with all of everything, man. The sequoias over here, man. You're standing with them right now. Have you figured that out yet? You're in the Alps, man. Look, they're over here. That's Alps. Those are the Alps right here, you know. This is our family picture. And man, I don't like the makeup we're putting on it. Look at the Adriatic Sea off the coast of Montenegro over here. It ain't mountainous, so. They don't even care when Toby cries he's going to be good anymore. They're just whipping us because they enjoy it. They're whipping our mother in front of us. That ain't a chocolate Malta going against the wind. If the wind was blowing in the right direction, that formation could occur naturally. But not while this one's blowing that way and that way and that way. It's impossible. Actually, that's EMF. Syracuse. Spartans. We got to act like since we're only the 99%, we damn sure got more than the 300 here. Can we act like it? Now look at this cloud. This is an impossible flow for this hemisphere. They would all be after each other, turning the same way. However, this is not. And this is North Carolina. And they're getting ready to get fucked again. This is my old North State, and I often call this place home. And they've chemtrailed the Blue Ridge Mountains. The Great Smokies are being smoked out. Look at these beautiful green of these trees. Do you think they're going to last long like that with the acid in the rain that's going to occur from putting acid in the sky? You figured that one out yet, SpongeBob? But then again, a lot of you people wore a mask while you were healthy. And they convinced you that asymptomatic meant you were sick. Bullshit. You got an immune system. Challenge that shit. I smell lies because of videotapes of badly behaved politicians having cocaine and pizza parties. What a fucking shame. That's your forecast already been done. I'm not going to scroll too much because I'm already feeling the pain it is. Look at Tucson, Arizona. That's not Winslow, Arizona. We can put that up there and see what's on the corner of Winslow, Arizona. Now, if you were standing on a corner in Winslow, Arizona, this is the sight you would have seen. Oh, look, an edited out Chembram thing. A device, a big balloon or something edited out. You'll see these sometimes. And every one of them is different. Look at the color on the edges here. They had to blur out. But they didn't get rid of the plume right here. See it? And that's refracting light. The ice crystals that chemical plume is making. So if you were standing on a corner of Winslow, Arizona, it would not be such a fine sight to see. That's a Lando cane. Here's what I want to point out about these. You got two squares, one on top of the other, and they're going to sling one off the top of the other. They're right over here. I'll just use red. All right, I got a scalar square here. There's one. Another one is here. Right? Counter-rotate these. One of them's low, one of them's high. This one here on the top is coming like this. This one on the bottom is rotating like this. It's generating in between these gaps in here. It's generating a lot of electricity potential. A lot of them. Like that wheel you spin and generate sparks. Right? They'll consider this the main law coming in. And this is going to bring in, I got another scalar square here. This will be done by an X-ray radar. So the flow from the Gulf is being brought in here, while everything coming in from the sea is here. And it's really going to do a number on this area of the United States because of this. Because of this. Oh, yeah, yeah, I've been watching. I just can't cover the whole world with a broken hand. If you think I'm going to type to you all day long, it's impossible. Even just using that pen right now. I'll show you some of the totals they can expect. But I've already talked with my people. That's just over a few day period. But this is my concern. If as they bring the stuff in from the backside and it meets the Gulf waters, it's really had a chance to pick up some of the cool air over the central United States and bring it in. It's going to kick absolutely after Virginia and through the mountains here. And this is mountains right here. This is the Shenandoah and Shenandoah Valley. Shenandoah, yeah, that one. Cambound Mountain, contaminated heavy metal rivers. Life used to be old here, older than the trees, but now the trees are dying and falling down. And what will be the oldest thing one day? Will it be 2 days old before it perishes? As I look at the contaminated planet, and I find not one spot left. What about up here? That has not been geoengineered. No, that's not just ice flows. There's nowhere left. These are ice flows. When you see that, that's usually currents of ice moving on the ocean itself. Chem bombs, middle of the ocean. There's nowhere left. There's nowhere untouched. Nowhere is safe from greed. Remember that. And it's up to us to put an end to some shit. Now I'll go out here and look at the Carpinteria area. Absolutely sprayed like bugs. Am I even running? Yes. Look at this out here in the tropics in the Coral Sea. Well, has it been your dream your whole life to visit a tropical island? Well, this is what you'd have gotten is Solomons. And Vanuatu, you didn't make the cut today. But you did yesterday. And you had a big plume over here unless there's a volcano going off everywhere. But they're simulating a volcano with the acid. And well, that's not good for us. It's great for your heating bill, people that enjoy giving you that. But you see that color? That's volcanic looking. But that's not a volcano out here blowing off. This is simulating it. This is what the Paris Agreement asked to do. When you were doing your climate strikes, not going to school, and asking for change, this is the change that was proposed. Are you happy with that? And if so, what the fuck is wrong with you? And if not, it's time for you to re-aim that beautiful activism, that wonderful spirit of this young generation towards the attitude of we will never block sunlight from the creatures that we love. We will never set sights on brumbies in these mountains over here and shoot them. And we will never, ever, ever turn a gun on a koala bear that's functionally extinct because of lack of love for anything but money. And that's all I got to say about that. Big love, stay safe. Be the change that you see needs to happen, or have the change happen to you that others do. Peace.